Well, I realize it's not just a technical solution here.
Right. No.
We can nerd out all we want, but they've built a moat around them.
Yep.
They did really adversarial things when they first started up. Facebook did it, Instagram did it to draw people in, and then they
Hmm.
shut the gates.
Welcome, Fedi Friends, to episode 40. Sorry, episode 54. We had discussion earlier. I can't remember if it was 53 or 54, so I had to look it up. And now I say 45. No, it is episode 54 of Fireside Fedi. I'm your host, Ozoned. Fireside Fedi is a show about folks within the Fediverse. If you're seeing this, you are part of the Fediverse. And if you're hearing it as well, I need to change that so it's hearing instead of seeing. My guest today is Jesse Karmani, founder of Frequency, a followers only federated photo sharing app for your friends and family. I don't know if the alliteration was intentional.
It's not. Now that I hear it out loud, that's a lot of F's.
That's awesome. Uh, so, Jesse, welcome to the show. And how would you like to be addressed?
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, Jesse is good. That's perfect. I
Jesse.
love it.
Okay. And since Jesse's already given us the F, um, how'd you get to where you're at today?
Oh my gosh, it's been a long journey.
Right?
I think if you're around my age, which is like mid to elder millennial, you kind of saw this social networking thing bloom with the internet, and it was like such an exciting time when we were first able to get online and talk to each other,
Yeah.
chat rooms and live journal. I mean, I'm not old enough for like Usenet. That was a little bit
Usenet's
before
still
my
around
time.
today.
It is, yeah, but it wasn't cool when I was a kid. So
Yeah.
yeah, I was doing more like live journal, and then ICQ, and then MySpace happened, and Facebook, and
Hmm.
just watching this progression has been really fascinating. Going from someone that uses it to um, in my career thinking about what I wanted to do, what I wanted to build. I My first job out of college, I almost went and worked for Facebook, almost, but I turned them down um, because I had made this promise to myself. It was at the time when all of this ad tech was just being born, and
Yeah.
they would come to my school and they would just proselytize. We're going to track everybody. We're going to track every bit of data about them. And I was just like, that's disgusting. That's so invasive. Like, why
Yeah.
you? Like if I can do anything to not use my skills and all of this knowledge that I've spent the last 4 years building to have to do that, I will do anything else. And I was about to like go for my final interview at Facebook, and a friend of mine told me what their plans were. He said, "Oh, I've contracted for them. Do you know that they're going to use all that data that they have about you, the most personal data, to just
Yeah.
like advertise like crazy, like share that
Yeah.
information with advertisers, use it to target you in a way that none of these
So,
search engines can do."
but that's interesting because you were right there at the front line. So I got on Facebook in college and I just thought it was weird giving my information to a central person. This was before they went really crazy, right? Like this is when it was still
Mhm.
college only. So I could only talk to people in my college.
Right.
And I just like, why would I give all of that to some unknown face, right? And that had
Mhm.
already seemed weird. So you were actually on the cusp, knowing what was coming, and you were like, "Yeah, this isn't okay." Like, yeah, I could get a huge payout. It's Facebook. Even then, no one. We all love MySpace, but it didn't do what Facebook did, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
it got people on the internet in ways that even the internet hadn't done when it first came out. Like you even just saying ICQ, that shows a level of nerd at a younger age that you had, right? You were drawn to this stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. From a super young age, I was a pretty quiet, nerdy kid. I grew up in a really small town where nobody else was quiet or nerdy or into the computer. So like that was a world to go into, and that was a place to meet other people that had similar
Right.
interests to me when I couldn't find that in person where I was. There were like three of us, and we would get together as teenagers and have LAN parties, but it was just the three of us. Like that's it.
That's awesome though. Because like it was the same for me, right? And the internet empowered you to find others like you that, you could learn from, you can grow with. And the internet just made our small towns instantly larger to anyone in the world.
Absolutely. And I loved what you were saying about Facebook. Like it got everybody on. Like I watched that. I went
Yeah.
through, like I started off when it was just for colleges and then saw it open up.
Hmm.
And I moved away from my small town and went to college on like the opposite coast. So that was a way to like keep up with the people that were still back there in
Right.
that town in a way that I definitely wouldn't have. Normally, I was pretty shy. I wouldn't have called them. Like texting still costs, 10 cents per message or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I
So
forgot about
like,
that.
right. So Facebook made that different. Like
No.
you could just see the pictures of your friends. Like, what are they
Yeah.
doing in college? Oh, they're going out and having a good time. Oh, they're, traveling or taking a year off, and just like seeing other people share their lives. Like I
And
like that. And
yeah,
that, yeah.
in ways that
If for
we
a shy
couldn't
kid, that
before. Like you
absolutely.
had to go over to someone's house to see their pictures. And even then you're like, okay, well, I'm at your house to hang out with you. Why am I looking at your pictures? Like it's a weird situation. And
It
then
is.
texting, people, a lot of younger folks don't know this, is you're right. Especially if like I didn't have a texting plan and all of my friends would text me, I'm like, stop, that's $1 a text because I don't have a plan. And they're like, why wouldn't you
You
have
guys be
texting? I was like, because I'm already paying for the phone. But it couldn't do media, right? Like our
no, no,
cellular
no.
networks, God, oh my God, now you're really taking me back. Cellular networks are what, 3G, 4G? And while we thought it was the
Oh yeah.
fastest thing in the world, it was barely usable. So like you didn't send a picture to someone over text.
No. And the cameras were awful. We were
Oh
still
yeah.
using the point and clicks, plugging it into our computer and uploading to Facebook that way. Like they had albums because you would just like you'd
Did
go
you
on a trip and you do the whole album of like your road trip.
did you ever see the Sonys with the cassette, the 3 1/4 inch floppy disk?
No, no.
When I was in high school, it was a camera, a 3 1/4 inch
hmm
floppy disk, right?
hmm
Um, and you put the floppy into it, and you would get like 5 pictures, and they're like, this is better. So you'd have to carry like a stack of floppy disks with you if you actually wanted to use it like on a family vacation, which is ludicrous. And then
Oh,
they
that's
went to
amazing.
actual mini CDs.
I do remember the mini CDs, yeah,
Oh my God.
which was ridiculous. Like we're
Right.
just gonna burn the images into this, and you have to take this little thing out and put it in your
And most
computer.
people were like, well, I don't have that size disc. That size. Oh my God, you're really taking me back. And you were there. Like so you saw
Yeah.
this. You and I appreciate it. There's a lot of people like, well, I'm gonna go to Facebook and I can help make it better. I can help make it good. If they're gonna do this, they're gonna I can help them do it in a good and moral way. And it is my opinion that there's no way to collect this amount of data on people and use that in a good and moral way. But you saw this and you said, no, that's not for me. And where'd you go from there?
I just went into consulting work. Yeah, I went to work for a company called Pivotal Labs and just worked with a bunch of startups there. And I feel like I built some things that were social network-esque, but were a little bit more focused on work and like developer tools.
Oh, okay.
I ended up at GitHub eventually, which is kind of like the social network for
Developers.
programmers.
Yeah.
So I feel like I learned to build those things and to build maybe not at the scale of Facebook, but at a reasonably large scale by taking other avenues and not having to go that particular way. Um,
Okay.
yeah.
So were you there? So you worked at GitHub
hmm
pre or post evil?
Pre pre-acquisition. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's funny that like everyone knows what I'm talking. Well, I work for Red Hat, And then people are like, oh, were you there for IBM? I'm like, oh yeah, I cried. I literally cried. Because it's something you believe in, right? And you're the underdog and you're helping set a new wave, a new trend of things. And all of a sudden the big old comes and says, here's, I think Red Hat's was like $45 billion. And it's like, what the
Yeah.
shit? We literally sold out. And I didn't get shit for it.
Yeah. I was there for long enough to like make sure that I got something for going through all that pain for sure. Like if
Okay.
they're gonna, yeah, if they're gonna buy it out, like, but it's still hard to watch it change and not have the same ethos, not have the
Yeah.
same like
Yeah.
engineering
Hmm.
prowess or integrity or
It,
caring about the sort of things that we cared about as we built
yeah.
it. That's difficult to watch.
And it's funny how as soon as the big company buys the vengeful or the the upstart, how quickly it pivots from that to very conservative. No, we need to protect this to make money at all costs, kind of a thing. It's a totally different vibe for those that have never worked at like an upstart or a startup or like that, and then also a giant company. I've had the unfortunate role of being at both. And
Yeah.
there was a time where GitHub was brand new and not many people knew it, and then it exploded.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
that's a good point, that it's a social network for developers. I've never thought of it like that.
Absolutely, yeah. Like trying to bring those social aspects to collaboration, and how do you copy what the big social networks did in a way that you can bring that to the work
Yeah.
life, like the work day, the same way Teams has done that, and other sorts of software to just not that I'm saying to do it well, but like people have been trying to do that. Like, oh, okay, this works well for this aspect of things. How can we bring this into the work world?
Right. Yeah. No, I totally get you. Teams. I think we all have a hate relationship with Teams, but
Mhm.
you pointed out something, and we were talking about this at the beginning of the show that I want to loop at the before the show started. That I want to loop back to is GitHub is like a social network for developers, right? It is not social media. You and I were
Mhm.
talking about that before the show, and I agree, but I would like for you to describe how you believe there's a difference between those two things.
Yeah, big time. I think we started off with social networks and they became social media.
Mm-hmm.
Like Facebook started off a social network. We started off connecting with our friends and the people that we knew. And eventually when that wasn't, juicing enough engagement for them, getting enough advertiser dollars,
Yeah.
they figured out a way to inject other stuff in there. And that got us all to that changed what we were doing. Like I think a lot of folks don't want to post their personal life on these places anymore.
Yeah.
They want to like act like an influencer. They feel like they're talking to everybody. That they turned everybody's posts public at one point to just like, oh, now you're speaking to the entire world. So it
Yeah.
stopped being your network and it started being this performance for everybody on the internet. And I think there's a huge distinction between that. If you're doing
Mm-hmm.
public stuff, if you're on Twitter, X, Blue Sky, Mastodon with a public account, you're broadcasting. You're
Yep.
broadcasting to everybody, and that is social media. But I
Yes.
think if you are just talking to your friends in a group chat,
Right.
or if you're only connected to people, that is your network. That's a social network. And what you build for one is different than what you build for the other. I think we've usurped the social network with social media tooling because everybody wants it to be big and
People,
performative, and
a
yeah.
lot of people want to get famous off of it, right? People do podcasts to get famous. Not me. I just like talking about this stuff. Actually, I hate
Yeah.
the fact that I'm quote unquote getting Fedi famous is what I was told. But it is a way for you to advertise whatever message that you're trying to get across. Like even if it is a message of I went to this place on vacation, like that is influencing others. So the media is meant for a public consumption and not discussion more of anything. Like people say they have discussions on these platforms, they're not deep meaningful discussions in my opinion. And I think that's where the social network comes in, right? Is you are actually building a network, a sustainable pipeline of people and friends and that to talk to.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to build something to get us back to that because I think that's been lost. I mean, some people still use the social media sites as a social network,
Right.
but it's a fight for them. They're fighting back against all this other content that's trying to be injected in because that's not really what the people who build it want you to use it for. That's not the most profitable to them.
Yeah. So you found then eventually you found Activity Pub, or what did you like? No one finds Activity Pub. Normally you find the front end, Mastodon being the
Right.
big one, right? Ghost now apparently is the biggest one. Um,
Oh, fun.
but so how did you find this?
Yeah. I think this continues like my story and my journey. Um, once I knew what Facebook was doing, I didn't want to use that anymore.
Yeah.
So then Instagram was the new thing eventually, and we started using that, and like there it was, you're close friends again. This feels good. And then what happens? It gets bought by Facebook. Um,
Yep.
and they turn it into the same exact thing. So watching that pattern happen, I'm just like, oh, this is so bad. And it's like they do a really good job of capturing your network so that you don't want to leave.
Yep.
So there was a while where I was still there because that's where I would see what my friends were up to. That's where I would update them with what I was up to.
Right.
But there was a turning point for me. And I like to tell this story about I went on a road trip to like do a digital detox. I was just like, you know
Oh,
what? I'm on my
nice.
phone way too much.
Yeah.
Um, I need to get out. I need to like look at the horizon. I'm gonna bring my phone with me, but this is my GPS, it's my music, and it's my way to find food. And like that's it. Nothing else. I will
That's
not open up
awesome.
Instagram. I will not check my email, nothing.
Yeah.
And so I went on this road trip and I went, to the Mojave Desert. I went to the Grand Canyon. I was like camping by myself. It was wonderful. It was exactly what I wanted and what I needed.
Yeah.
And when I got back home, I opened up, they had just started like screen time. It was like the beta of screen time that would tell you like how much time you spent on
Oh,
the
oh,
apps.
okay. Yeah.
And I was ready to be proud of myself to see like just what I had used, like the GPS and
Yeah.
maps and my music app. And there was Instagram right there, 13 minutes every single day. And I said, what the fuck? I never opened that once. What was it
Really?
doing? Oh, right. It has background refresh. And so it opens itself up and refreshes whenever it wants, which, if you do the math, at that point, I think was about 30 seconds every day. So as I'm on my road trip,
Oh my God.
it's following me everywhere. And anytime it makes a request, it knows where you are.
Right. Yeah.
If you've given it location permission, it knows exactly where you are. If you haven't, it at least knows your IP address. So it was tracking me
Yeah.
that whole time. And I was like, just to see that and
Well,
have like the data.
and your phone has to keep track of which cellular towers it's connected to, right? So if they
Exactly.
can get low level access to that, they can literally pinpoint you, or if you've given them access to GPS, that's within like a meter now, I think. And it's just
Exactly.
in the background. You're like,
Yeah. I
so
was like, I
a bucket
didn't
of
mean
cold
for any of that to
water
happen.
hit you,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah. I was just like, oh, that's it. Like, this is my
wow.
moment where I can't do it anymore. I deactivated my account and installed the app, and I went cold turkey. And I had to tell my friends that, and just, yeah, you're not going to see me on me anymore. And I tried to like evangelize and get them to do it, and just like everybody's so captured by this,
Yep.
especially if you've got family around the country or around the world.
Yeah.
Like this could be the one place where you're able to connect with them. Like it's really not realistic for most people to give it up. And I said, there's got to
Right.
be something better. Like I'm gonna go out and look and see and just try to get other people on it. And I went and looked, and there really wasn't. Like there were these little things that were just trying to copy everything else. And the one thing I
Yeah.
thought was, these apps were built to be addictive. Like if you want
Yep.
something different, it needs to be built a different way too.
Yep.
And I just wasn't seeing anything interesting. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to start playing around with this. I started prototyping what I want it to be. I'm not a UI designer, so it took me a while, like in my spare time, drawing up, just like trying to figure out what this should look
Yeah.
like. And the federated part hadn't even come in yet. It was when I started to do more research and think about how am I actually going to do this, where I was like, oh, you know what? If you make another social network, you have to do the same thing
Yep.
Facebook did. You have to capture everybody. You have to get everybody in the world. And oh my God, that is overwhelming. And
Yep.
at that same time, I had seen Mastodon start coming up and competing with Twitter. And I was like, wait a second, like somebody's doing something around this. I'd heard about, the precursor to ActivityPub, the like pub sub sort of
Okay.
things and the activity stream. So I knew a little bit about this sort of thing. And Mastodon was the first one that I'd
Of
seen
course. Yeah.
doing it for real. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, this is possible.
What
Like,
year? Do you know what year this was?
I think that would have been 2018.
Okay, so you're early. You were
Yeah.
not only are you early in Mastodon, you're early in thinking about alternative ways to do this. Like you're way early.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
I just started playing with it. Um, the interesting thing at that time, there wasn't a lot of information about how to develop it. It was hard to find community. There wasn't Fedi
Yeah.
forum. It was
Yeah.
really hard to figure out like what even to do.
There was
Like,
no amazing show, podcast to talk to different people around the Fediverse. I don't know. We'll
yeah,
call
no,
it Fireside Fedi or something like that. No.
yeah, no
Jeez.
publications telling you
Right.
the latest things in the
But
Fediverse. It was really quiet at that
but
time.
but that already gets me super excited, right? That shows there's an active live ecosystem here because
Mhm.
you've seen it, and the number of people doesn't matter. The interaction matters. The growth of our community matters, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm so excited about. And knowing where this is going, I'm very excited to talk about frequency in a second. But
Mhm.
do you feel? I mean, again, you started this so mid 20 teens, then you find
Yeah.
Mastodon 2018, which is about when I found it. And it was perfect, right? And everything just smooth. You didn't need to do anything else.
Oh my gosh, no. There weren't, I came to it expecting like libraries to be able to build on top of, like things already there, and I was just like, oh, there's nothing. And like
Early.
I was just kind of doing this as a side project at that time. Um, so I would mess around with stuff. I tried to
Yeah.
build an implementation on Go on top of somebody else's kind of like their experiment that they had done, and I was just like, oh, this is all like chewing gum and like this is all duct taped together. This is
Yeah.
not something to build on top of. I can experiment with this, but it was really slow going and pretty painful.
But you didn't give up. Did you
No.
not give up because you liked it being painful, or because you see something useful here that can help, or what?
There were a couple times where I put the project down and didn't touch it for a while,
Yeah.
but I'm too stubborn to give up. Like, I thought, maybe a team with some funding or something might pop up and do better than me. And I've watched other things come up, and each time I'm like, that's not quite what I'm trying to build. Like it
Yeah.
would motivate me to like, nope, what I want to do still doesn't exist. And like there's an intrinsic motivation in wanting to create something like that doesn't exist that you feel like needs to.
And I think that's huge though, in that someone could be working on, and I have a feeling we're going to get this a lot in the coming future. It's like Linux, where it's like, why do we need another distro?
Right.
Because you don't need to use it. What do you care? Because someone sees a need for something else. And if
Hmm.
it's successful, amazing. And if it's still just for that person, amazing. Right. And
Yeah.
that's like Dan Sup has been talking about loops, and someone might look at this and be like, this is exactly like loops, but it's not. Like this fits a bit of a different use case, social media
Hmm.
versus social network. And
Hmm.
thank you for continuing past the difficulties. Have you so you didn't, there were no libraries, there was nothing really there yet. Um,
Yeah.
did you work on just ground up stack, or did you work on building libraries that others can use, or how did you go about it?
Um, I started working trying to build something ground up. It was taking me a really long time, and I realized that I was going to get frustrated with that.
Yeah.
Like I've generally been a back-end engineer, but I've always worked in concert with front-end engineers and been able to see the
Oh,
results of what I'm building. And I felt like I was going to
yes.
get demotivated if I couldn't connect them together.
Okay.
So eventually I was like, you know what? The vision for this is really like the interaction and the UX, and I
Mm-hmm.
need to see if that's going to work with ActivityPub. I can't spend a year building the back end just to find out if this is going
Dude.
to work. So I forked Mastodon. I was like, let me use something that's already working. I know I
Yeah.
can modify this. I have like a decade of experience in Rails. Like I this is totally my jam. I know how to go into a code base like this and use it and work with it. So like that enabled me to kind of work on the part to be able to see it come into fruition and to hook it up to like a working activity pub thing and see where it was working, where it wasn't working, what else would be needed to support my use case.
See, I absolutely love that because there's a lot of folks out there that are like, I'm just gonna write some code and we'll see where it goes. And that's
Mhm.
fine. For nerdy people,
Mhm.
that works really well. I like extracellular stuff, but you had a vision in mind. And you're like, let me see if I can create my vision, and then it it can work like that. And if not, this is my vision. And you didn't stray from it. That's brilliant. That's so good.
Oh, thank you.
I,
That's very kind of you.
no, I mean, we have a lot of folks that are just like, you know what? I don't like the way it is. Yes,
Mhm.
I can build it to be like this, but no, I want to build this for me like this. So then you built
Yeah.
frequency, right? Or did you
Mhm.
did you build something else before that?
No, I built frequency.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been working on an app, um, iOS app, and it's React Native, so I should be able to release it for Android as well. And doing like a small amount of customization to the web version as well.
Oh, there's
Like
a
I have a
web
fork.
version?
I mean, so it's the backend is a fork of Mastodon.
Right.
I call my fork Decodon just to differentiate it because it's not exactly the same. There's definitely some differences. I'm being highly opinionated about how I want to do things.
I,
So it wouldn't be for
yeah.
anyone that just wants any Mastodon fork.
I appreciate though that you immediately up front say that it is highly opinionated
Oh yeah.
because all software is highly opinionated. But in this
Mhm.
instance, if someone comes to you and it's like, no, 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 that UI is not right. You need to make it like this. It's like, no, this is my opinion. This is what
Yeah.
I've designed and we're sticking to it. So if
If you
you,
want this flavor, take it. If not,
right,
go somewhere else. Yeah.
right. Yeah, no. And I love that. So it is open source.
It is, yeah. The backend is open source. The app I have
Oh,
not open
Decadon.
sourced. I have some libraries in there that's not possible to do, but
Okay. So, but okay. Frequency. Frequency is
mhm.
your app. It's social media designed for you, not advertisers. Ad free forever. Own your experience. No engagement maximization. Connected and open. I don't see an example here because you have Zen mode, and that's what really caught my interest.
Yeah.
But explain.
That's
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, that's where I've been playing mostly with the app. I haven't None of that has made it back to the web interface yet. I'm definitely doing mobile first for that, but that's where I really wanted to break the UX patterns that we've been seeing on typical social media apps, because I think all of them were built by these big companies that are trying to maximize engagement. They're trying to get you to scroll on and on and on and on and on,
Right.
and we can copy those things, but if those aren't our incentives, then we're just making people addicted in the same way. We're giving them something familiar, but we're not offering them a better option. So Zen mode was something I had envisioned from the very start. In fact, when I built my first prototype of frequency, I tried building like only a Zen mode, and I showed it to people, and they're like, "What is this? Where's the feed? Where's everything?"
Right.
And so I realized I had to go back and do like a classic mode, show them something familiar, and then be like, "Wait, but if you want
So
a
do
more
Do you want
Zen
to
experience. Try
yeah,
this.
like, do you want to explain what the difference is? So I install Frequency, which is only on iOS for the moment.
Hmm.
It
Yeah.
should be possible with Android, and I'm showing for the video version. I'm showing off the video you did at Fedi Forum, though the pod audio folks won't be able to see or hear anything about it. But
Hmm.
so it is a social media app where I upload my pictures and it goes out to the web and I get advertisements and I become a huge giant influencer and super famous and all of that. No, that's not what it's about.
Absolutely not. Yeah, no. I mean, first of all, your posts are always private, so they'll only go to people that follow you. Um, and I'm trying to gear that more towards friends and family, like personal connections rather
Right.
than just people that you collect on the internet. I mean, those might be your personal connections. I'm not going to tell you how to use it, but I do want it to be a more intimate experience for
Well,
folks.
because I'm a dad and I see this
Mhm.
as a great way for me to share my pictures privately with family in an intuitive interface. Right now,
Yeah.
I just post them on my Proton Drive, and I have to give them a link, and then they have to go to a website, and like this would be amazing. But not only that, I see it like if and the only reason I think of this is because I just recently got a tattoo, but my tattoo artist, she's younger. She's in her mid to late 20s, I think, and she's like, I have to be on Instagram. I hate
Yeah.
it, but I have to. But instead,
Mhm.
on like her business card or something, here's the private, my stuff that you can follow, none of the other crap. And I think for business purposes, like that could be huge. Again, I'm not trying to be an influencer, but I do want to connect with people. And this is
Mhm.
that early Facebook, like, hey, all your stuff is private. I mean, on the back end, it's not. But that's Zen mode, right? Is just those you directly follow in a
That's everything.
right.
So
Okay,
everything you
yeah.
post is always going to be private like that. There's no, I don't even give you the option to post publicly. Um, because that turns it into something else. That turns it into a little bit more performative and less personal. And
Yes.
it requires a lot more infrastructure. So I am charging a subscription for this because
Mm-hmm.
I'm not showing ads. I'm not really comfortable with asking people to donate or give me money. Like, so some
Yeah.
people are willing to do that, but sometimes it feels like you're constantly begging to keep the lights on. So I just wanted to be upfront, like, hey, this is a service, you pay money for it to not be something that's advertising at you, that's tracking you. I'm gonna try to make it as reasonable as possible. I've got a subscription for like $5 a year right now. I started off, experimenting with something else, but just like come on, you can't afford that for a little bit better social network experience. I think that it's possible to do that. Um,
I, yeah. So
yeah.
I'm smiling about it because I saw that and I'm like, I want to do this. Oh, there's no Android app. I was like, I will wait because so let me show it off. Individuals $2 per month, or there's a 1 year special $5 for an entire year, or a group of three or plus more $6 per month. Like, and again, to have a private, your own social network, right? Where do the pictures stay?
So I'm hosting everything. It's just one individual server. So I'm
Okay.
not doing quite the same model as Mastodon where you can host your own. I've When I talked to
Okay.
people about this and they saw the Mastodon model, it was just so confusing for like the regular folks, the folks that aren't like us, that aren't Fedi enthusiasts.
Yes.
Like, how do I pick the server? What happens when the server um, goes down? Like, what if somebody stops maintaining it?
Right.
The story for moving server to server is not good enough yet for that. I do think that there's a reason that people flock towards these centralized apps, and it's for simplicity. It's
Yeah.
understandable to them. I also, this is a soapbox that I will always be on. I'm not going to teach my grandma that she should go and log into one website that looks just like this other website that looks like 500 other copies of that website. Like, I just taught her not to do that for security reasons. And all of us Fedi people are like, no, no, that's totally fine. Like,
or
are you kidding me?
or go make
No.
another account. Yeah, like no,
Yeah.
no, and that's one of the things. again, I absolutely love the Fediverse for this because there
Hmm.
is the option for me to do that and then sign up to something like this because I could show my family this and they don't have to know it's on the Fediverse. But
Exactly.
we all win.
Yeah.
God, I
I
love
think that's
that.
how you do it. You like sneak the vegetables into
Right?
the smoothie, right? Like,
Yeah,
and that's
I
great.
love
And things like
that.
WordPress, things like Ghost are so great because it's like that's not their focus. They're not
Yeah,
federated first. They are building a great product that people are using anyway, and they're happening to introduce federation into it so that we can all interconnect with one another. I think that's
yeah,
kind of how you have to frame it rather than like nobody wants to hear our nerd talk about decentralization. Like nobody.
yeah.
They're
No,
like,
I just had
whatever.
that
Why do I
conversation with
care?
someone. Yeah. No, and it's
Yeah.
gonna, I hope it gets to the point where it's all invisible. Like, I really hope, like,
Mhm.
if Blue Sky's around, then I want to have those conversations where it's like, oh, try this new front end. It's on the Fediverse. No, it's actually on AT Proto, but it's invisible because we don't care, right? Like the underlying layer all just works and we build an app on top and it just works. I don't care if you're still on Twitter or Facebook as long as it all just interconnects and
As
works.
long as we can talk to each other, like that's
Right.
yeah, that's like that
That's what
is
it was
the end goal.
designed
That's what
for.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we're going for.
And so Esoteric Programmer asks, how is this on the Fediverse? Does it federate? It's on the Fediverse
On the
because
Fediverse. It federates with ActivityPub.
so if I'm
Yeah.
on Mastodon and you're on Frequency, can I follow you?
Mhm. You can follow me. I will, accounts are private, so I have to approve you.
No,
So
that's yeah,
not just anybody can follow you. I think that's the privacy aspect of it.
yeah. Well, and again, as a dad, I could have my own family account, and here's pictures of my kids. What
Yeah.
happens? So if you're hosting it, that means you're hosting all of the storage for the pictures.
Yes.
Do
Yes, I
you,
am.
so we have to trust you with our pictures.
You do. Until there's a better alternative for that. I would love to see things like Tim Berners-Lee's solid pods, or even what the AT Proto folks are doing with PDSs.
Uh huh.
I would love to see that be able to work for private things. I would absolutely switch over to that immediately. I want you to be
Yeah.
able to have control if you want it.
Yep.
Just this is the model right now because right now we kind of have the entire activity pub stack is all put together. We don't really have a good way for people to just reach out for the storage. It's possible to build that. That's not
Right.
technically not possible. Just I'm one person building front end, back end, server, everything. I only have so much time in my
For
day.
now. For
Yeah,
now.
yeah, for now.
It'd be
Yeah,
nice in
absolutely.
someday that you had a whole team, or do you not want that?
I would love that. Yeah,
Would
it's got to
you?
be. Yeah, it's got to be the right folks that have the right vision, and I'm not willing to go the VC route. I've been in Silicon Valley. I've been in the companies that have taken that money. I know exactly where that road leads.
Yeah.
There are some investors that may be more interested in investing in the future and visions, but that's a pretty rare thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, and when you take that money, and even if they say there's no strings attached, there's always going to
Oh,
be something. It's not insignificant amount of money for 90% of us in the world, while the other 10% it might not be a big deal. It does, and it influences things. And
oh
it
yeah.
can nudge, even in subtle little ways, can nudge projects and things. You mentioned solid pods. I had been following that for God, what, 10 years now, I think. Um,
Yeah.
but I actually talked to someone on the show, Lauren, who actually is doing activity pods. I don't know if you've heard of that.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that. I would love to build on top of that if it were more granular. From what I've seen, you kind of have to give access to everything, which means it's just not quite there yet.
Yet. Yeah. Yeah. But I think
Yeah. But
that
keeping my eye on that. Yeah.
that's an exciting thing for me because the idea of solid pods I thought was great. And so for those that don't know solid pods, the idea is kind of think of like your cell phone if it were private and you keep all of your data in a central location, all of it. So security number, address, all of this is you in your safe. And then if you want like your doctor's office or hell, even Amazon, they have to request specific access for your personal data and targeted. Now, for an end user, you know, how many people install an app and say, yeah, just accept everything and don't care. So the
Right.
idea is to try and make it like, why the hell would Amazon need to look at my health records? That's a no. They should only be accessing my bank account, right? Like, and it's that kind of idea. And then Activity Pods is trying to hook up Activity Pub into the solid pods, which to me reminds me of things, and I've said this many times before, Linux, where GNU had all the tools, they didn't have a kernel. Linus came along and built a kernel using all the tools. Ah, brilliance and beautiful,
Right.
right? And that's,
Yeah.
I come across as a huge nerd, I know, but have you figured out though? Like, is this, say you get 10,000 people, like is $5 enough for an entire year to afford storage for that many?
For 10,000 people? Yeah, absolutely.
Is it?
Yeah. Just looking at the numbers um, that Mastodon has put out for hosting, the
Yeah.
number that they are even on their main instance. Yeah, absolutely. Uh, Depending on how active they are, you
Yeah.
know, I might have to put some limits on some folks. Everything's unlimited right now, but if somebody is just like posting 10
Yeah.
times a day and
So,
like huge videos every time, there might need to be some limits on that.
but you have to have, do you have like rules and restrictions and things like that?
Um, in terms of like what you can post,
Yes,
or
correct.
right now it's unlimited in terms of like the amount you can
Well, I
post.
meant like content
Content. Yeah,
specifically.
absolutely.
That's, I mean, because
Yeah,
that could be a really, like, not to beat around the bush. From what I've heard, a lot of the Fediverse has experienced significant issues with CSAM, right? Because you can
absolutely.
uh, host it somewhat yourself, you know, and reach others interested in those kinds of topics. And that's been for me one of the things that I've been afraid of on my go-to social. I've actually turned off images. So if I want to see an image, I have to click a link to go out to wherever it's at.
Mhm.
So what are your thought patterns around that, or how will you address that? Or
Yeah, I mean, that's first of all absolutely prohibited in the rules and the terms of service of using that. So like legally I'm saying,
oh,
yeah,
okay,
I don't want that. And in fact, I'm not building an OnlyFans, so I'm not making
okay,
this
yeah,
for like even consensual sexual content. Happy to have that on the Fediverse. There's lots of places for that. That's not what I'm building
right,
necessarily.
right, okay.
I'm trying to target folks with families, so that needs to be a bit
I
separate
get
from what I'm doing.
that's where I kind of landed on it too.
Yeah,
For me, use case for me would be like, again, connecting myself with my family in an easy and intuitive way to do it. And I showed I showed your Fedi Forum video. It is literally like 5 things on a screen, and then it's very focused one at a time. And
exactly.
it's so nice. It's
Yeah,
so
that
light,
was my vision with Zen mode. We kind of
right?
got to talking about the nerdy stuff, which I absolutely love. But like going back to what it
Oh yeah,
actually
yeah.
is, it's supposed to like instead of having the timeline, the infinite scroll. If you think about that for a second, like all of these people that are posting have nothing to do with each other. Like, why
Yeah.
am I seeing it in that order?
Yeah.
And so with Zen mode, I was like, well, each person, you can see what they've updated. So this person posted 2 things since you last checked. This person posted 3 things. And if you open that up, it's just a feed of them, just what they've posted. Because you're focusing on that relationship and that conversation and that person instead of I think the timeline, the infinite scroll makes it so impersonal. Oh, yep, I've seen that baby pic. Double click, heart, move on. Like that's like, how is that connecting us? How is that like building relationships? That's just turning us into these little like rats, like
Yeah.
addicted. Like, give me more sugar, give me more of the cocaine water. Like, how can we undo that? How can we
Please.
bring back the relationships and like focus a little bit more? And trying to I tried to add a little bit of friction, but not so much, like, oh, I have to click 5 times to do everything. Like, I'm trying to find the balance in there, but that is the point of Zen mode. Like, it's not supposed to be easy to just flip through everything. You're supposed to focus on each person and say, like, what is Jenny up to? What is my friend on the other side of the world
Well,
doing? Like,
and pay
yeah,
attention to it. Like we
yeah,
think right now, we think we look at pictures and we've seen it, but we're on to the next one by the time we can even process what's going. How many times have you gone past something, stopped? It's like, oh, that might have been interesting. Scroll back up. Maybe
right,
it's,
yeah.
I mean, maybe it's just
Because you
me,
have
but
like
it's
your thumb is on auto mode.
right. Yeah.
Like,
And this is very
yeah.
central. Well, how are you going to keep your customers addicted then? There's going to be lock in and it's going to track your eyes and beep when you're not staring at it.
Oh, absolutely not. None of that disgusting stuff. I hope that I don't want them to be addicted. I want it to be useful to them and functional, but I want them to feel okay not checking it every day. Like I think about like text messages, things like that. I don't open it up every day. I wait until something comes in. I look at it occasionally when I need to have a conversation. Like it's a functional tool
Yeah.
that is useful and that is connecting me to people. And like
Yeah.
I want frequency to be that.
We've all gotten addicted to screens. I mean, even
Mhm.
answering a text message as soon as it comes in, it doesn't need answered immediately. It's a
Yeah.
text message. It'll sit there. It'll wait.
It's an asynchronous form of communication. Yeah.
Do not pull out your phone while you're driving to check text message. It's not that important.
Yeah.
Literally saw someone driving the other day with their hands on the wheel with both thumbs on. I'm like, dude, please
If you
don't.
can't even get 10 minutes break from that thing while you're on the
Right?
road, like
Like, come on, man. Um, yeah, Esoteric Program asked another question of, have you considered, instead of ActivityPub, doing it with AT Proto due to the PDSs, and then you are an app view? Is that what they call it? The
that is what they
personal
call it.
background
Yeah.
stuff is their personal data store, and
Hmm.
then you have an app view that accesses that.
Yeah, I
Oh,
would
cool.
love to do that. Right now, AT Proto does not support the private use case. So everything in AT Proto is public. So that is like
Yes. Okay.
anti-thema to what I'm trying to do, but they are talking about private use cases. There's a discussion forum going on. Some of the engineers and the CTO, I think, are starting to discuss these use cases. So I'm following along closely with those conversations. I honestly like their architecture better than like this tangled mess of ActivityPub where we just bundle everything together. Like when I saw their thing, I was like, oh yeah, that's nice. Like it's not as nice for self-hosting like one single thing. It
Right.
is a bit more infrastructure. But the way that they laid it out is the way that my engineer brain works. So I'm like, yes, that's what we want because you can separate these components. You can host your own data, your own PDFs, and
Hmm.
we can collaborate on the moderation layer with people all across, AT Proto across the Fediverse, and then I can build the app that I want to do, and we can kind of modularize these different pieces and pick and choose what it is that fits together. Like
Right.
I would love to do that. Yeah,
You can get just the kitchen without the entire house when you only
exactly.
need the kitchen. Right.
Yeah. And I'm watching them move really quickly in AT Proto in a way that I love. Um, we are thoughtful in the activity pub side of things, but sometimes it feels like walking through molasses to get anything to change. I've been doing some spec work with the threaded task force to try to um, do some enhancement, Fediverse
Oh,
enhancement proposals because
yeah.
there are parts of the spec that
Julian Lamb,
need to
right?
change to fully support what I would like to do.
Interesting.
Yeah,
So if AT Proto came along with the pieces that you need, are you going to build that in, or are you going to completely drop Activity Pub and move over there? Like, do you see a world where both of them exist? Because that's a lot of work.
it is a lot of work. I would consider how much it meets my use case. Right now, ActivityPub meets, I'd say 60%, 60 to 70% of my use
Interesting.
case. So they would need to support at least that much, or I'd need to see a path to more easily get to the
Sure.
full support of what I want.
Well, and the way that you're designing it is your end users don't notice any difference, right?
Really shouldn't, no.
Right, because you can, even if you decide to drop Mastodon's backend, you can create your own whatever it is, app view or whatever, an activity pub. In theory, it should be completely opaque to your users. Like they don't, sorry, translucent, that they can't see it at all, right? They only see
Yeah.
a specific layer and they can't see any of your underlying stack. And again, I think that's massively important because you, as an engineer in the back end, could do what you need to do to help your users and lower that bar to entry to install and go.
Hmm. Yeah. In between activity streams, activities, and AT proto data, they look very similar. They look
Do they?
extremely similar. Like translating them would be relatively simple. It's just putting the other pieces of the protocol together and hooking
Yeah,
it up to the app view that's a little bit different.
that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
great. Is
Yeah.
there,
So it's kind of exciting. Yeah. I feel that's some convergence. Like when I watch the conversations that the AT proto folks are having about how to do private stuff,
yeah,
they're trying to say, oh, this would have to look like ActivityPub, as opposed to like the way we're doing it
no,
in
that's
AT
great.
Proto. So it's going to be really fascinating to watch, and we'll see,
Well, and that's
yeah, who gets
that
there first.
that's super interesting too, that they're watching each other. They don't, like, I've talked to other people, like, they don't see each other as competitors, right? At least not yet.
Mhm.
Neither of them are really big enough.
Mhm.
There's plenty of room to grow, but a lot of it seems like even in blue sky, a lot of folks are very interested in not being what we have now. And
Yeah.
that is great. And there's a lot of fear around blue sky. There's a lot of fear around someone having, say they love frequency, someone, just knowing that you're the centralization point. Do you ever see a route in the future where I run my own server and then can still pay at frequency to do a beautiful front end?
Yeah, I think that's possible. Right now, I'm not building it because the complexity of how it looks on the ActivityPub side, like asking people to log into their server.
Yeah.
I think that we're not going to appeal to as many mainstream people. If you have too many of those widgets and
Yes.
things to
Yeah. Yeah.
configure,
Yeah.
I think that's why Blue Sky got, big people in news, politicians. It was a lot easier for them to just make a Blue Sky account. And then later
Yeah.
on, they can do their own domain. They can maybe move to a different PDS. It kind of like gradually introduces those things, but it
Right.
gives them a really specific funnel to come on that's just easy. That's not like, oh, immediately make all these choices that are gonna have like so much consequences as to what
Yeah.
this experience is like for you. I think that's a lot to ask of people up front. And it might be, I think it's probably a big reason why we're not getting a lot of adoption from less technical, less like Fedi
Yes.
fans
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
as
Absolutely.
opposed to Blue Sky.
Well, and
Yeah.
you said it earlier, like people, they don't want to think that low level. They don't want to
Yeah.
care. They want to pull out their phone and do what they're doing. And oh yeah, if you don't track me and don't invade my privacy, that is an afterthought. Like we need,
A lot of people don't think about that, honestly.
yeah,
Yeah.
no,
There's like, yeah,
that's,
it's free. That's what I trade it for.
yeah.
And they don't
And
know the extent to it.
they don't
Yeah.
care, or they're just like, it's not that important to me. It's throwaway, or
Yeah.
they don't know. Like I have a
Some people
mother.
love the personalized ads. I think they're creepy, but some people are like, yeah, I love what they give me. Like, all
No,
right, cool.
yeah, I've heard the same thing, and yeah, I don't know. That's, to me, that is a massively foreign thought. Like I use DuckDuckGo. I don't mind when I search for cat food, it gives me an ad for cat food.
Mhm.
I don't want to search for, I don't want to go to their page. Amazon's a great one with it. Well, we saw you looked at this, so here's 600 more.
Yeah.
And
It's like, let me tell you if I want that. Don't
right.
like stop following me around like a weird little puppy dog, being like, do
Yeah.
you want to buy this?
Like, dude, I only need one bed. I don't need 65 different kinds. You're not going to sell me another bed,
That's the thing
right?
that pisses me off. I'm like, after 15 years, how is it still that stupid? Like, how does it not know that I've already made the purchase? Stop trying. Like, I went and I looked at the
Yeah.
shoes. I decided I didn't want the shoes. Why are they following me around the internet? If I wanted them, I would have bought them. Like,
Yeah. We're just
this is
reminding
just
you we're
weird.
here. We miss you, Jesse.
Yeah.
Come by us. Hello. And it is, it really is massive, consumption capitalization consumerism. It's incredible how it's normal. It has
Yeah.
literally gotten so normal and normalized that when you tell someone that I don't have a Twitter account or I don't have a Facebook, I'm trying to remember who I was talking to. I was talking to someone and I think it was Jen. Where she said, you have to be on Instagram. I was like, I've never looked at Instagram. I've never had a TikTok account. And now I know that that is the sign of an old person and that they are right. And that the new platforms are for the young kids. Cause they're like, I
It's
don't
true.
want to be on there. I'm just tired. Got better shit to do.
It's very true. And it's different when you're that age and you don't have better shit to do. Like that's your time
Right.
waster. Like if you're not into video games, like that's what you
Yeah.
do.
And that's fun. And I mean, a lot of people use it for business, right? Like
Hmm.
she's an
Oh,
artist,
absolutely.
so she has to be on there, which again blows my mind that so many people are like, yeah, you just have to be on there.
Oh,
Or
absolutely.
or your
Even small
career doesn't
businesses,
go
your local
anywhere.
cafe. Yeah. I think that we really have an opportunity in the Fediverse to give those people a place. Like if you have to do it,
Yeah.
why shouldn't that just be part of your website where you can post those things and the updates go out and it's federated? Like why does it have to be on Instagram? I think there's a huge opportunity for those sort of things.
And
Because that is the one thing I miss from Instagram. Like, there's local restaurants that post, oh, we're having a special, we're doing a pop-up, things
yeah.
like that. Like I miss it unless I literally go there and look, and that's the only place they'll put it. They won't even have a website. Or if they do,
Well,
they're not going to update it like the amount they do
and
there.
so I've gotten politically active in the
Mhm.
US and my federal representatives are like, "Do you want to sign up for our mailing list?" It's like, "Yes, I do." But how much better would it be if I can just get it live from you straight as you're messaging it? Like, I don't want to
Yeah.
go to Twitter to do that. Run
That's
your
why they're still
own.
doing it. Yeah. I watched that with the politicians. They're in the Twitter soup, and so they're engaging with it, and their messages become shaped by
Yeah.
the soup that they're swimming in, the stew that they're in, and
Yep.
it just becomes like that sort of messaging where
Well,
it doesn't have to be like that. It's reactive.
and I think that the easy setup use too, like people that, okay, well,
Yeah.
if I put a poll out there and I get instantaneous, response to it, that is just the Twitter subset. And a lot of people don't even think of that. Well, no, 95% wanted me to do this, so I'll do this. It's like, yes, but how
95% of who?
right,
Yeah. The most
exactly. Of
online people
who? Like,
ever. Yeah.
right? Yeah, it could be someone that
Is that
doesn't
your
even know what this
constituents?
is. And
Yeah.
it's interesting. I always say it's interesting, but everything's interesting. Is that, like you said, politicians are on it and they're talking to how many people and how many people actually are their constituents? How many people actually should have any say over any of it?
Right.
A-
Yeah.
And,
I don't know. I don't know if they have, and they don't even have the numbers for that. They can't know that information.
right?
Maybe on Facebook they can see that this person, if they post where they live, where they're from, maybe they'll see that they're in their district. But I doubt they're even looking at
Yeah.
that.
Sorry, I ran
No,
away. I
that
think we're
these
all on
are
the same page here. That
these are great things to think about. Like it's absurd, like how we've thrown everybody into this mess, this engagement farm, and infiltrated every aspect of society. And like,
and it's
why does it have to be like that?
well, and it's gotten so complex too. Like, I mean, it used, J. Edgar Hoover. People were concerned that J. Edgar Hoover was listening in on their phone calls, but they knew it's a phone call, right? People don't even realize J. Edgar Hoover's fucking everywhere, watching everything you're doing. And oh yeah, let's sell you some stuff. And it's
Right? Yeah.
creepy, man.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll
So,
follow you around. We know that you're at the protests. We'll share that information with
right.
the government. Who knows what they'll use it for? I hope nothing bad. But also, do you want
But
this AI sex bot that we just made? Because that's where it's going to, which is absurd. Like,
I'm not going to say yes, but I'm not going to say no. I mean,
right.
we went in a weird direction. I love this.
I mean, that's where the internet has gone, though.
It
Like,
has, and it's going to be AI sex bots talking to other AI sex bots, and then eventually they're going to create their own form of dial up, and we won't even hear it because it'll be ultrasonic.
That'll be great. Yeah, they'll go back to the beeps and boops, the connection,
Yeah.
like sounds.
There was a YouTube video of a guy that did that. He created two different AIs and he called it like AI talk or something, where
Hmm.
he started up both of them and then I'm an AI. So am I. Let's go to AI talk. And then it was just modem sounds. And I was like, you are ruining such a classic sound that I had. Stop. That's off. I love that sound. Don't you dare do that to me. And
That's so
like,
funny.
this is creepy. I don't know. AI is another one. It's just, maybe I'm old. I don't know. I mean, I am old now in comparison, but
Same.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't want it to replace our social interactions, which is what I see. It looks like
yeah.
Facebook trying to do. Um, I don't know about the others, but yeah.
Well, or at least control our social interactions. There's some, what the hell was it? There's some group that I was interested in going to around here, and they're like, okay, well, we sign up via Facebook calendar or Facebook meets or something like that. I don't even know what it is. I'm like, well,
Right. The events. Yeah. Yep.
I guess I'm not participating. Like I would love to,
Yeah.
but no, I'm sorry. Your event isn't, and it was something for my kids. I'm like, that's even
Yeah.
creepier, man. Because I don't want my kids anywhere near that stuff.
Yeah. A lot of stuff is only on groups.
Yeah, is that what it's
We
called?
really, yeah. Well, yeah. So like like a private Facebook group where they'll post the
Yeah.
events on
Oh,
there.
yeah, it was the PTA.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the PTA is on Facebook, and I'm like, but everyone, like, no one cares. It's just useful.
Yeah. And people, and I understand the reason people use it. Since Facebook has the real name policy, you're sure that it's the person that you think it is, that you've seen at the school drop
S-
off
See, but
for the most part.
right, yeah. I mean, my wife accidentally joined a PTA group, and they're like, "We're having a PTA meeting tonight." She's like, "Okay," so she goes out, and no one's there. It's literally the same school PTA name, but in California.
Oh,
Right.
funny. So
So
they didn't even check. They just approved
no,
her.
yeah,
Jeez.
and like that's like no one does the security level stuff. No one actually checks,
It's
right?
true.
Let's be honest. No
Yeah.
one does. And then they're like, oh yeah. I mean, she found us. She must, this must be the right place. I don't know her, but Beth knows her probably. And
Right. Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah. A friend that's a doctor says so many, I can't leave Facebook because we have these doctor groups where we all talk to each other. And I'm like, you all are discussing the medical stuff. Like, obviously not private
yeah,
stuff,
it's
but
right, right.
still,
My wife is a
they
nurse, so
feel
yeah.
tied to it. Yeah. There's all these groups that, people get that information and they feel like they know who the person is. It's not like anonymous user XYZ123. So it gives them this like sense of reassurance that they're connecting with real people
Yeah, I mean,
that I
when you
think
need a
hasn't been replicated
consult,
anywhere else.
yeah, when you need a consult, you need to actually make sure that you're talking to a real doctor.
Hmm.
That matters. Or, I mean, a doctor too that you know preferably, right? And that again, and that's a good point. That matters.
Yeah.
But frequency is not going to do that because we're doing pictures.
Yeah, we're doing pictures and video. Yeah, we're doing like friends and family, like the kid photos. Like
Yeah.
I thought about it when my niece was born. My brother really
Okay.
didn't want her on Facebook at
I
all, and
was
I
just gonna
I
ask you
appreciated
this.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like he held out for a really long time, but there's not a lot of good alternatives, and you have to
My
share
kids,
with people eventually. Yeah.
nope. I told my family you do not post pictures, and my mother-in-law was like, "Well, what if I made it private?" I said, "No, I don't want my kids on their servers at all. No." And I'm the guy that at school or at like we go to martial arts, I'm like, no, I do not consent to, and I trust these
Mhm.
people. I know these people. It's the people up there that I don't trust. I
Right.
have no
Absolutely.
idea what they're doing with my kids' stuff. I think there was, if you ever looked at the terms of service didn't read. Facebook has the longest terms of service of anyone, and they reserve the right to change it at any time.
Yep.
And it's no, why are we trusting any of ourselves to people that have no responsibility to us?
Absolutely. And I'm glad that you have a family that's willing to respect that. Not
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
does. Some people say that, and
Nope.
people are just like, what are you gonna do?
I mean,
Photos get taken.
right?
Like, they get
Supposedly,
posted.
for all, I'm not on Facebook, so for all I know, they might be posting stuff. But
That's
yeah,
true.
we have been very adamant that no. But then at school, my kids use Google Chromebooks. Every
Hmm.
year, a specific Chromebook is assigned to them. And
Hmm.
for those that are like, well, Google's not allowed to track stuff that kids do. They've been caught tracking stuff that kids do once already.
Yep.
They will try to
Yeah.
obfuscate it as much as possible, but they know damn well that that Chromebook is in the elementary school in this area. Like, and whoever this one user is, their information tracks with them last year. So I wonder if we could, like, it, there's
Hmm.
a billion ways for them to do this. The only way to get them to not do this is do not allow them to do it by not being on there. They've got so ingrained in our lives. But
It's hard.
that's why I'm so excited about things like this. It's like
Yeah.
we're
They
supposed to
give
be
us
talking about your app.
opportunities.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Like I'm ranting and railing like a madman. But we can all agree again. And if it I love these kinds of things. I think that only this kind of stuff can happen on the Fediverse. You can't build your stuff from Facebook. You can't build your stuff from
Yeah.
Twitter anymore. There was a time, maybe.
Yeah, there used to be like the apps that you could build and have a little bit of control, but Facebook has locked people out of that stuff. They've locked you out of the API. Like they're not giving you access to your own data to do what you want with it
Yeah,
anymore.
because it's not yours,
Yeah.
right?
Oh no, absolutely not.
No, you are renting it from them that you have given them. And they were, yeah, we already went through that. I won't go through that rant again.
Yeah, and they're profiting massively off of it. Yeah. But you don't get to see a dime of that.
Right,
At
and
least
paying no
YouTube pays the
taxes.
creators.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, for now. And that'll keep going down because they don't have to.
That's true. Yeah.
It always, I always have to laugh because I love watching people on Twitch. I love watching people on YouTube. But then they get upset when a change comes that directly impacts them. It's like, it is literally Darth Vader coming to you and saying, you know, I've changed the rules. You know, hope I don't change them again.
Right.
What are you gonna do?
What are you going to do? Build up all this infrastructure that we have?
Right?
Like
Yeah.
you're really trapped by it. Like
Yeah.
and there's not a lot of good alternatives. Like I think folks explored like the peer-to-peer side of this a while ago. There was like Scuttlebutt and Nosters doing something like
Oh
this,
no,
but
I don't know. I don't know Scuttlebutt.
Scuttlebutt was a while ago. It was an experiment. It didn't really go too far. But I think some of the
Yeah.
folks that worked on that are actually at Blue Sky now and try to take the things that they learned from that
Oh,
and put
interesting.
it into AT Proto. But if you don't have all that infrastructure, you go peer to peer, well, then you have things like, no, you just can't ever delete something. Like you
Right.
can't ever moderate things. Like it's just out there and you're just like, oh God. Like we talked about the CSAM problem. Like,
Yes.
oh God, like what would that be like if we built things that way?
Yeah, and I mean, there's been a million different trials of things. I remember again because I'm a nerd. I've always looked for alternatives.
Hmm.
There's been numerous other things. Oh, what's the hell's the messaging app? There's some messaging app that's built on email. And I'm like, wow, that's really
Oh,
cool. Except at the time I had a Gmail.
right.
And I'm like, I don't want my messages in here. And it's like it's a brilliant app, but where are we protecting, you know, people?
Right.
If everyone's still on Gmail, just use the Gmail me. You're not more secure.
Hmm. Yeah. And you can have yours secure Proton, but whoever you're talking to, they're probably on
Right?
Gmail.
Yeah, I've done that
So
before.
like they've got the whole
That's
conversation. Like you can't.
yeah, it doesn't matter.
And that's an interesting part, I think, about that in terms of federating, because we're seeing um, Meta's products start to federate. We're seeing threads. And I watch a lot of like what's going on with the regulation, because I think that can
Yep.
help us. That can help
Yep.
to bring more people in and connect more people. But it's going to complicate things too. Like
Well,
I would love to see Instagram have to federate. I mean, it's already halfway in their
yep.
code base if it's in Threads, because Threads is built on top of Instagram. But what does that mean? It means I can connect back with my friends that I lost connection with when I
Right.
deactivated my Instagram account. But what does that mean as soon as I send my stuff to their
Yep.
servers? Like what sort of protection do we have for that? And how do we, yeah, how do
No,
we keep protecting ourselves if we don't want to be on there, like, but they still get the other side of it? Have I really totally protected
But
myself.
I mean, with there is that huge question of interoperability, and that is like, well, yes, they're no longer on. I don't have to go on Facebook and I can talk to them, but I'm not on Facebook for a reason because I don't want them having my conversations. So if I'm
Yeah.
talking to them from my house to their house, they still have my conversations. I
Mhm.
think the big piece of this, and I saw that you know, mentioned Cory Doctorow and shitification. I had him on the show, and a big piece that he's talking about is more interoperability, allowing you to move, right? Because that's the big thing.
Exactly. Yep.
We if I can move grandma to my server and she could still talk to her friends, again, it becomes transparent. They can't see it.
Yeah.
And they don't care. You give them a different interface in the front end. Hell, you could remake the Facebook interface on ActivityPub, hook it up for her, and they don't have a right, like, and they still talk. And she doesn't care. And again, at the end
Mhm.
of the day, I've said this before, it's called Fireside Fedi. I love the Fediverse. At the end of the day, as long as I can run my thing and talk to you, I don't care what wins.
Mhm.
The internet was
Same.
made to
Yeah.
communicate.
Yeah. We have multiple competing standards for all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Like, they work for different use cases.
It's time we had a standard for intercommunication on the fucking internet.
Yeah. I think we do have to have that connection at first so that people see that there's something outside of the walled
Yeah.
garden that they're in, to break down
Yep.
those walls a little bit and allow them to start moving.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can do it well enough that they want to move over, that they don't just stay there and
Yeah.
interoperate. But we have to, it has to be good enough for it to be worth it to them.
Yeah. No, this and it's always refreshing for me to talk to someone that kind of feels that way. Like, you know, you feel validated. We share the exact same things, but we're tackling it from different directions. And again, I think that's one of the biggest pieces of the Fediverse is the freedom to build, to do what you want.
Hmm.
What is the best way for someone to help you in frequency? I would assume by signing up for $5 a year.
Yeah, join, try it out, give me feedback. Like, tell me where it doesn't work for your use case. Tell me what you want out of it that's not there yet. That's the most helpful for me. Or tell me, if Zen mode sucks, or like you've got ideas for it to be
Yeah.
better. Like, I think we can build not just something where we're interconnected, but something where we build better connections through the tools that we have. Like, we don't
Yeah.
have to just default to the addictive apps, to the ones
Yeah.
that we keep opening mindlessly.
Yeah. So esoteric programming, yes, I was talking about Delta Chat. And as for regulation, there are states, there are countries that can state you have to interoperate.
Yep.
Utah just passed one. Um, it's going to be Maryland, I think, or New York that's looking to pass one. Uh,
Mhm.
I think the EU is looking to force interoperability within
Yeah.
2026. And
Yeah, so the DMA is partially in place, and I think they're evaluating next year in 2026. Okay, do we need to force them to interoperate? They've already done the gatekeeper stuff for the really big guys.
yeah,
So now they're saying, like, okay, do we have to force you to interoperate? And one of the things that they're asking when they're going to make that decision is, are there competitors that are being hurt by interoperability not working right now? And if something like frequency exists, if we've got pixel fed, if we've got all these things where you say,
right.
yes, it is hurting, like those connections are broken, I
Yeah,
think that that's a really good case for the folks at the EU to say, okay, we need to enforce that.
that's an amazing point. I haven't even gotten to that phase of thinking that. You're like 3 phases ahead. You're amazing. You're awesome. I love it.
Well, I realize it's not just a technical solution here.
Right. No.
We can nerd out all we want, but they've built a moat around them.
Yep.
They did really adversarial things when they first started up. Facebook did it, Instagram did it, to draw people in, and then they
Hmm.
shut the gates
Yep.
so that nobody else can do the same thing that they did. If we can pry those gates back open, we can be just as adversarial.
It's funny though because God, and we've gotten to a point. I remember when Facebook was completely open. I could just go to a Facebook page and read something. And now what, like 90% of all of the things are behind a login prompt.
Yeah, same
And
with
there was
Instagram.
when that happened, I remembered just thinking, oh, well, they're done. They're just going to crash and burn. And they haven't, which means they've
No,
kept those those core people gate kept long enough that they don't care anymore.
they don't even know because they're logged in. They have
Yeah,
no
that's
idea what
that's
we're
true.
seeing.
Yeah,
Like,
I never thought about
yeah,
that one
they
either.
have their account, they
They
see it
literally
there.
don't
Yeah.
see it. Yeah, because they're logged in
Yeah.
everywhere. Oh God.
Yep. It
The,
opens in the app automatically for them. Like they don't
the
see what we're seeing
the
if we opt
people that
out.
are enslaved really don't know. They
No
don't
idea. No
know.
idea. Yeah.
Holy shit. No wonder I was come across as a loon. I mean, I am,
But
but
they don't have the same experience as you.
they
It's
literally don't.
yeah, it's like the filter bubbles. Like everybody's seeing different things in their social media, but if you're not even in the social media, like you have a totally different worldview. And they're like,
Oh my
what are you
God.
talking about? How do you not know about the latest TikTok trend or whatever? Like
Well,
we're
but
just
worse
speaking
than
different
that.
languages.
But worse than that, like your bubbles matter. You are in a bubble no matter where you're at. You're in a different,
Sure.
societal ecosystem. And I can wholly see how that causes a schism in information. Like
Yeah. I
that.
mean, that's always been the case in the world. Like we're
Right.
influenced
Yeah.
by the society, the culture that we're in. But it's become really concentrated
Instantaneous.
and like algorithmically controlled in a way that's like
Oh
weird
God.
and terrifying.
Yeah. I look
Yeah.
back and like, I love computers. I love the internet. What the fuck have we done?
Yeah. We didn't listen to psychologists enough. I think we let the nerds optimize for numbers without listening to the person in the corner being like, hey, maybe this is bad and really unethical. Like they kicked all those
Yeah.
people out of the room when they were building those things, instead of
And now they
listening to
hire
them.
psychologists to find out how to make it worse, or
Yeah.
psychiatrists or
Well,
whatever it is. Yeah. More addicting.
yeah. Yeah. Do experiments. How do we target teens when they're feeling low about their
and,
self-esteem? Like just
and
awful stuff. Awful
here's
stuff.
the thing that really gets me here is we legitimately sound like crazy people.
Yeah. It sounds like a
Like,
conspiracy theory, but like,
except it's been proven to be true.
yeah. I mean, listen to the whistleblowers. I read the Careless People book with Sarah Wynne Williams on the inside, just the
Dude,
stories that she told.
dude, I
You know it's
got
bad, and then you hear the real stuff, you're like, wow, that's worse than
I,
I ever imagined.
Jesse, I love you because you're saying literally the same thing that I am. I got halfway through that book and I had to put it down. I told my
Oh,
wife,
yeah.
I was like I thought I was crazy for thinking as much as I did, and they've blown it out of the water. They've
Yeah.
gone so much farther than I even imagined.
You sound like a nut with the things that you think, and then you see the real stuff, and you're like,
Holy shit.
it's even worse. Like it's
And according to the book,
Mhm.
they manipulated a country's algorithm to boost pro Facebook politicians.
Yeah.
That's horrifying.
Because it was good for them. It gave them more
More
power, and
leverage. Yeah.
yeah, in their mind, that's all that matters. Like the second order effects, they
It's
don't even think about those. They don't have like the conscience to think about those. I don't know what it is. I'm not the
yeah,
psychologist here. I
right.
can't
Yeah, no.
armchair analyze.
And I had to cut it off when she was pregnant and they sent her to Japan to see if she would get arrested.
Yeah, yeah,
I
Korea, I think. Yeah,
or
South
Korea,
Korea.
was it Korea?
Yeah, yeah.
Like for those that, again, in the story, I highly recommend the book if you want to hear the insaneness. But in the story, she was pregnant or had just had her baby. Oh yeah, she had just had her baby because she was breastfeeding and she was pumping.
Mhm.
And they wanted to know, there was a warrant out for all these senior execs arrest. And it's weird that I'm concerned to say this, right? Because people have gotten sued over this shit.
Right.
And you're calling out a billionaire. But according to the book, she had just had her baby and there was a warrant out for the executive's arrest for Facebook. And to see how serious they were, they basically told her she had to go. And potentially get arrested for them.
Yeah.
Like,
They sent him to Myanmar to like go talk to the military juntas
yeah.
that were doing the Rohingya genocide. Like it was
Horrific stuff. Absolutely
yeah, really
horrific.
horrific stuff.
That's, I mean,
And the company line is we're not doing that or we don't know about that. And when you see the truth of like not only did they know, but they were
actively
sending people in,
participating.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and just not caring about the people, the guy that worked for them in Brazil that got arrested, just barely even acknowledging, what happened to him, the way he was abused. Just yeah,
And we trust them with our family pictures.
exactly. Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
they
They
don't
want to give you the
care.
portal so you can have a
Yeah.
screen watching you all over your home. I guess that's not a thing anymore, but
Yeah.
they tried
Uh-huh.
that for a little while. Well, now they've got the glasses. They've
Oh
teamed up with
God.
Ray-Ban. Just yeah, we have to always be
We can keep
vigilant.
we can keep going on and on and on.
I know,
Oh,
yeah,
God. We feed off of each other. You're
I
terrible.
know.
I gotta. So, esoteric programmer did ask a question. I think is very good.
Mm.
The Fediverse has a large population of minority groups, especially those that have accessibility issues. So, being an imaging and video based platform, what's the accessibility story there? Do you have one?
Yeah, so I've tried to implement the alt text, but beyond that, I feel like I haven't done a good job. I'll honestly admit that.
Okay.
I think I need to have a better job done there, and I just need more folks using it to
Yeah.
know what they need beyond the stuff that I know, and
Oh,
have seen
okay.
in other places.
Or recommendations. So, esoteric
Yeah.
programmer is blind, so the alt text is always very helpful for me. Someone that is, doesn't have a doesn't have a difficulty. It's always difficult for me to figure out a word to say there, because I'm an idiot. I always forget that, right? And I always appreciate the gentle nudge with people like, "Hey, remember alt text," and I try to do it when possible.
Mhm.
Esoteric programmer has been amazing for me in recommending things. And so if he got, a month free or a month trial with 30 days free, so if you didn't like it, would you be open to him offering you suggestions into accessibility?
Oh yeah, I would love to hear where I'm failing, because I think that's how I can make it better. I try to hook into, I think, since I have the iOS app, Apple, I think, really tries to do this really well. And I try to hook into their systems as much as possible and lean on what they've
Oh, okay.
got, make sure I'm
That's good.
operating with that.
Yeah.
Because I think that they've just put so much more time and effort into that. And so as long as I'm not going around that or messing it up or
Yeah.
like dropping that in the way that I'm building it, that I think that's really helpful.
Okay.
I also think that for the alt text thing right now, we're asking people to put it on themselves. I've seen some other places where they're able to automate it. I think Threads kind of tries to guess what's going on with
Okay.
AI and like make an alt text.
Uh,
We have to, those are trade-offs, right?
right.
We have to
Yeah.
make choices there. Like
Yeah.
the question is like, do you trust the person running your
Right.
AI? How do you feel about the way it was trained? Those sort of
I
things.
I
These things
just
layer on top of each other.
I just looked up, not to call it DuckDuckGo's AI. It's actually usually quite on point, but I asked it the other night, when is my local or when are these two specific elected officials getting reelected? And it said, Tuesday, November, tomorrow, right?
Well, yeah. Mhm.
They're both up for reelection. And I'm like, no, I've already looked. There's no one running. So then I hurried up and scrambled. Like, you do have to check AI, but it has valid
Absolutely.
uses. No, and building on top of what's already there is definitely good. And I'm sorry, I was laughing because I say the same thing. I love to know where I'm failing because that's how
Yeah.
you grow and that's how you learn, right? And so many people look at it as like, oh God, no, I can't fail. I don't want to fail. That's a horrible word. It's like, that's how you grow, man.
Yeah. No, I'm never gonna be perfect at this. I'm doing
Right?
the best I can. Like
Yeah.
if someone can't tell me, then I don't know and I can't make it better.
Yeah.
And I just want to make it better,
And
like as
that's
best I can.
And that's awesome being open like that. I love it. So, but now for the real reason I asked Jesse here. As they give them the opportunity to win a prize of a lifetime.
Ooh.
Our prize today is an additional hour in the day to get more things done.
Oof, oof.
Thought about a cash prize, but what kind of fun is that? Are you ready for the quiz, Jesse?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Favorite movie and why is it Spaceballs?
Oh man, I haven't thought about my favorite movie in a long time. I feel like this changes
Oh, yeah.
as I go through different phases in life. Oh, what is it? What is it in
I'm
this phase of life now?
I'm ashamed to say that there was one point in my life where Spaceballs was no longer the favorite, but it is back there.
Mhm. I think, you know what? Throughout my life, I think this one has stayed constant. I'm gonna have to say Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Oh, that's a great one.
I just,
Yep.
you could just go back and rewatch it so many times, and it just brings me back to like a silly place of like
Yeah. The
the world can be horrible, and you can go back and watch that and just be like, you know what? There's joy in the world. We can be silly with each other.
right. There was a point in my life, I think it was like for a year, where I just watched the Black Knight part, like once or twice a week or something. Like the Black Knight part, I think is hysterical.
Yeah.
Like to be that oblivious to reality and in that much denial. We talk about idiocracy coming true. It feels like that's coming true as well now.
Oh my God. Idiocracy is a good one too, but
Oh, it's so good.
yeah.
It's got my wife won't watch it with me anymore because she's like, it's gotten too scary. It's gotten too
Yeah.
real.
It's coming real, which is not the point.
Welcome to Costco. I love you. Next question is purple, blue, or red?
Purple. I
Why
mean,
purple?
yeah, my purple. It's been my favorite color since a kid. I've got my purple glasses. You'll see purple sprinkled throughout the frequency
That's
design
why I
as
picked
well.
it.
It's
Yeah.
just, yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's my color for sure.
Perfect. Next question is what does an alternate universe Jesse do?
Ooh. Um, let's see. There was a point in college where I was kind of deciding which way to go, like continue to be a computer nerd, or I was also really interested in psychology, and I would just read psychology textbooks for fun. Um, and I just wanted to
Yes.
understand humans, and
Yeah.
like talking to them didn't
Let
seem to be
me
working to help me figure them
yeah,
out.
let me help you here. Psychology, you still won't understand humans, but you'll at least understand a little bit of why they do something. But
Right.
yeah, that's I've thought the same thing. Like we are so
Yeah.
alike, it's scary. It's like,
Yeah, that's why I didn't go that direction, because I was like, I like nerding out on this, but
yeah.
if I were to be an actual therapist, I think it would just drain all of the energy
I've
from me. I want to help people, but I don't know
yeah.
if I have the stamina for that.
I've gotten a lot of help. I've gotten a lot better over the years. And recently I'm like, I'm sick and tired of doing IT. Oh, my psychologist has helped me so much. Maybe I'll go do that. My wife pointed out most people don't get better. Most people have more horrific things than you can imagine that you have to then listen to and be able to compartment. And it's like that makes me so much more appreciative for the people that do it because they sit there and they listen to horrible stuff and they can still get through it. Psychology
Yeah.
is and like they get paid well, but in my opinion, they're like teachers and underpaid, unsung heroes and
Yeah, underappreciated, and
underappreciated. Yeah.
there aren't enough of them to go around to help
Yeah.
everybody. Yeah.
Well, on that downer, I contacted an alternate universe, Jesse. I have an alternate universe phone here. It changes week to week. This week is some omega-3 from fish oil pill bottle.
Always good for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Take care of your cholesterol, kids.
That
All
that
right.
you laugh, but that really helped me starting to take fish oil. I saw my numbers go down. They weren't even bad, but
But
it,
we're
it
at
helped.
the age where you have to worry about that even. That's the thing that gets me. There was a time where I
Yeah.
wasn't worried about that. But anyway, so I used my totally legit and real alternate universe phone to reach out to an alternate Jesse. And while you created frequency, she created amplitude. Amplitude is an app looking for the loudest people on the internet. So people just got to screaming into their devices publicly, and apparently that's normal for social media. I think it's bleeding over in our reality though, because social media is definitely like that.
Mhm.
All right. Next question is people, platforms, or protocols?
Ooh. I am wearing my people not platform shirt, so
Yeah, nice.
I think it's all about the people. We build the platforms and we build the protocols to support the people. But
Okay.
at the end of the day, if they don't support the people, those other two things don't matter. So people first, for sure.
All right. Awesome. I love that question. That was a good answer. I love that answer. I don't love my questions. It takes a lot longer to come up with these things than people realize.
They're great
I'm
questions.
not,
I appreciate
I'm not
them.
that, I'm not that smart. It just took me an hour. Oh, I forgot this one. I accidentally, we can't forget this one. Cat on lap, cat nap, or cat nip? That's a very important
Uh,
question.
That's no, that's very important. Cat on lap. I
Cat
have
on
I
lap?
have two cats. In fact,
Yeah.
my one cat, she likes to be on my shoulder right here. She's a Velcro kitty, so she loves to just be
Oh,
held like a little baby.
yeah.
I'm surprised she hasn't come in. Usually when they hear me talking to someone, they're like, "No, nobody's here. You must be talking to me." And they like poke their head into the video, but I think she must be napping right now.
Oh, yeah. I saw you post a picture of the cat on your, instead of wearing a weighted vest, just carry a cat around everywhere with you or something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. She
Yeah.
loves to just rest her face like right on my arm as I'm
I,
typing. I'm like, I'm sure this won't give me carpal tunnel at
right?
all.
Dude, I don't know how people do that. Like, as much as I love that thought, when I'm actually typing, I'm like, I can't do this. No, I can't. I cannot be effective. You have to move. And then you just move them a little bit and you're like, fuck you. And they get up and walk away. Like, how dare you
Yeah.
touch me, peasant?
I'm lucky that's just an occasional thing with that cat because she's the
Oh,
heavier of
okay.
the two cats. So I'm like,
Yeah.
why don't you
Yeah.
just sit beside me?
As usual, the last question will be sent telepathically to Jesse. So
Oh,
open up
okay.
your telepathic lines so that you can receive the message. Take your time. It's always very complex. You ready? Here it
Mhm.
comes. Okay. There's your telepathic question. Let me know when
Mhm.
you have your answer.
Do I give the answer
Yeah.
telepathically as well?
No, you have to give
Oh,
the answer out loud.
okay.
That's a good question. No, but the
I was
whole
about to say it out
audience
loud. I was
needs.
like, wait, am I breaking the rules if I do that?
Yeah, our lawyers didn't go through the rules earlier. If you lose, then you owe us everything, I guess. I don't know. No,
Hmm.
yes.
Well, the answer is macaroni and cheese. So
Macaroni and cheese. That's such a good answer. Okay, but I have to do it. Why macaroni and cheese? Why was the answer to that question?
I mean, it's just so cheesy and gooey. It's
Okay.
always the answer.
All right. Well, congratulations. You got every question either correct or incorrect. Good job.
Do I get the extra hour in my day?
Unfortunately, when we attempted to get you an additional hour, it just forced the clocks to roll back. But yet there's still only
Oh,
24 hours. So that didn't help. It happened this weekend because,
bummer.
timey-wimey stuff.
I did get the extra hour of sleep. I didn't mind
Right.
that.
Yeah. Threw us all off. With kids, it's rough doing it with kids
Yeah.
forward and backwards because going forward, they're like, it's not time to go back bed yet. And going backwards, it's like, I'm not tired. And they're bouncing off the walls because they're overtired. So, yay,
Mhm.
daylight savings time. Woo.
Yay, when will we stop this ridiculous exercise?
Never, never. Well, at least not in our life at this point, I don't think. But
Yeah, we talk about it every year and then we forget until the
right,
next time it
yeah.
changes.
We bitch twice and
Yeah.
and then
We
move
grumble and
on.
do nothing.
Right? Yeah.
We're such an effective people.
Well, thank you, Jesse, so much for talking. It's been absolutely amazing. I hope you had a good time. Uh, I'll make sure. I don't even know what I was gonna say, but thank you to everyone else out there on the Fediverse. As Jesse so succinctly put it, people are first. If Jesse makes platforms and there's no one there to use them, did Jesse make a platform? Kind of much like a
No, I'm
tree.
not sure I did. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed
Thank
this
you.
conversation. It's fun to just nerd out around this stuff.
Right?
And yeah, I hope anybody that's interested in having that specific part of their life, like a social network around their personal life, comes and checks out Frequency and like tell me what you
And
think.
give
I'd love to hear
feedback.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you, everyone. We'll catch you on the next episode. Have a good one. Bye.